What up, squad fam? It's your boy Steven, coming back at you with another series. As you may have guessed by looking at the title, this is not the Steph section. This is not your normal podcast. Instead, I'd like to welcome you to the very first episode of the StephPlex. Now, this show was brought about by a request of a fan. They heard me talking about some wrestling on a couple of the podcasts. That's not going to happen anymore. Instead, this podcast right here, actually it probably will still happen, like predictions and whatnot if there's a pay-per-view coming up. But this series right here is going to be primarily focused on reviewing the latest wrestling pay-per-views, whether that be WWE, New Japan, whatever I've watched recently. You'll be getting an episode. Now I get that not many people are interested in the wrestling stuff, and even less people interested in the independent wrestling scene. So like that's why I'm making this, so that you don't have to sit through some of the parts of the Steph section that you don't enjoy. I just want to make everyone happy. But today what we're going to be doing is reviewing an event that happened last Sunday night, I think, for us. And it was a New Japan Pro Wrestling event. It was a hell of an event. It was called Dominion. There's quite a few good matches on it. 3 really special matches in my mind. One takes a cake, but you know, everyone who watched the show will know what that match will be, and we'll get there. Everyone just take time. There's cars driving past my window. There's probably going to be people interrupting me because I'm at home, and so are other people. But let's just see how we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the matches. Just have a quick discussion on what happened. Then have my thoughts on the match, and maybe like a rating out of 5. I don't know what the ratings will be called yet. We'll figure that out at the end of the first match, which we'll dive right into right now. The kickoff match of the night. I'm not including the pay-per-view, and I probably never will, unless there was something special on it. Did I say pay-per-view? I'm not counting the pre-show, because not a lot usually happens on the pre-show. If anything special does usually happen, or does happen, I'll talk about it, but if not, I won't. You might be able to tell that I'm a bit nervous about this. I'm stumbling around my words. But hey, yeah, let's just get right into it. The first match was between, it was a 8-person tag match. Team 1 had Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Jushin Thunder Liger, Manabu Nakanishi, and Satoshi Kojima. I've only ever heard of Thunder Liger, because he's an icon. And they went up against the team of Tiger Mask W, who viewers of the Cruiserweight Classic might know as Kota Ibushi, Togi Makabe, and Yuji Nagata. It was an average match from what I remember. It wasn't too much of a clusterfuck, which is what you want from these matches that have quite a few people in them. There wasn't really a lot special in it. The team of the Tiger Masks and their friends won. Yeah, it was an okay match. There isn't really a lot to talk about that one. I'll give it like 2 StephPlexes out of 5, or 2 out of 5 stars. Let's just go with stars. That's easy. 2 out of 5 stars. And then we had one of the matches I was looking forward to the most. A 5-team. Just let me count this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5-team gauntlet match for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championships. Match started off with the team of Chaos, who was being represented by Tomohiro Ishii, Toru Yano and Yoshihashi versus Bullet Club, Bad Luck Fale, Hangman Page, and Yujiro Takahashi. I'm getting more of a fan of Hangman Page as the matches go. He's really starting to impress me. I like the look of him. He's doing well. I want him to have more matches. Yeah, so it just started off with Bullet Club vs Chaos for, the go-to story of New Japan. Not a lot happened at first. Each person got to show off a bit. I remember Page and Takahashi doing quite a few good tag team moves together. But if there's ever long pauses, just because I'm reading what happened in the matches. Like, I watched them, but I tried writing down everything that happened, but I was just missing too much, so I'm just reading what else happened, as it goes on. But Bullet Club was eliminated by a low blow. It was alright. Then in comes the team of Suzuki Gun, being represented by Taichi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Zack Sabre Jr. I had no idea Zack Sabre Jr. was rocking it in New Japan right now. I'm really glad he is, because he's easily one of the most talented wrestlers on the face of the planet. His submissions are brutal but beautiful. He's great. Chaos was eliminated fairly quickly. Zack Sabre Jr. just did one of his sneaky, flexible pins and just got the freak out insanely quickly. Then the team of Taguchi Japan, being represented by Juice Robinson, Ricochet, another really talented man, and Taguchi himself came in. They were pretty. I think their teams uses comedy a bit. Sabre was trapped in the corner by some hip attacks. They did a baseball spot where Taguchi was sitting in front of Sabre in the corner, put his hands down like he was telling him what kind of baseball toss to use. And the commentator was like, 2 is a curveball, 3 is a screwball. What's 5? Because he threw down 5 fingers. And then one of the guys, I think it was Robinson, just ran into a cannonball into Zack Sabre Jr. He was like, hey, that's a funny spot. Yeah, Suzuki Gun got eliminated. And then after that, while the team of Los Ingobernables de Japan, the final team, who were the defending champions, were walking down the ramp, Sabre put Robinson in one of the octopus holds, which is just insane to watch. Like, he's just so good. He's just so good at it. So, that was a bit of good storytelling between Suzuki Gun and whatever fucking Taguchi's team name is. I think it's just Taguchi Japan. Yeah, that fucking thing. And then Los Ingobernables came out, did their part. They won. It was a fun match. It wasn't anything too special. Los Ingobernables retained the title. Not a big change there. And then, it was decent. I'd give it like 2.5 stars. Sounds harsh, but it was just your average match. The team that came out last won, so it wasn't really much of a surprise. Then we move on to the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match between Roppongi Vice, who have a great theme song in my head. I just like it. Versus the Young Bucks. My boys, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, going to be watching and meeting this weekend at Supernova. This is currently being recorded on Tuesday at 4:54 p.m. and we are leaving in like a day and a half plus 6 hours, give or take, plus like 5 hours really. Leaving at like 10. Immediate super kick. What would you expect? A bunch of it's for Young Bucks. It was a spot fest of a match. Great to watch. Young Bucks go outside the ring. One of the guys from Roppongi Vice, Beretta, hits a front flip dive onto the floor. Powerbomb by Matt Jackson, and he slams Rocky into the post a few times. They do a couple of tag team moves on Beretta. Beretta transitions into a sharpshooter on Matt. Matt quickly gets to the ropes. In comes Nick. Couple moves. Just more great tag team moves from the Young Bucks. What would you expect? Rocky is still out lying on the floor. Beretta sends Matt onto the floor. Gets over to his corner and Rocky isn't there. Instead, he's still lying on the floor. Rocky finally climbs up to a corner office, his hand for a tag. Matt grabs Rocky from behind and powerbombs him onto the ramp. That was nice to watch. The Young Bucks just keep getting rid of Rocky and isolating Beretta. It's great moves. I think they put him into something happened where Beretta was being stretched out, and then one of the Young Bucks hits him with a swanton, and then a 450 splash, pinfall at 2. More just Young Buck stuff. Then Matt gets suplexed off the top rope. Beretta hits a pile driver, goes for the 2 count. There's constant sharpshooters at the end. Young Bucks just keep putting Rocky, who's back in the match at this stage, into sharpshooters. It keeps being broken up. They do an indie taker into another sharpshooter, and Rocky finally taps. Young Bucks win their 6th IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Those boys have it made in their life, honestly. It was a good match to watch. I love seeing the Young Bucks do their work. What would I rate it? Probably like 3.5 stars, maybe. It was a good tag match. It wasn't out of this world, but it was nice. Then we had War Machine versus Guerrillas of Destiny, another Bullet Club team. War Machine went in as champions. Guerrillas of Destiny came out. There wasn't too much great about this match, but I thought, Bullet Club getting another win's nice. This card seemed kind of like the opposite of Wrestle Kingdom, where Bullet Club won like one match, and that was Cody's debut. I think they only won one. They lost majority of the matches at least, but in this they won most of their matches. They didn't win the gauntlet match, as I said before, and I won't spoil anything for later on. But they might have lost. Who knows? But they didn't this time. Guerrillas of Destiny won. That was like a 2-star match to me. It wasn't anything special. Then we had Cody versus Michael Elgin. Cody's like 3rd match in New Japan. Undefeated. He wins, again. He got this match by saying he wanted to fight tougher, bigger opponents. And Elgin is a big guy. Cody just keeps hitting him, keeps getting the 2 counts. Wins by crossroads. does some taunts as Elgin heads to the back, and then steals one of the English commentators' microphones and says that he wants Okada. So that was... Oh no, he said he wants the winner of Okada and Omega, so he wants a shot at the IWGP heavyweight title, which is good on him. Deserves a title shot. I don't know if it's really the biggest title of the company, but good on him for going out there and just asking for it. I guess I'm all over the place. I really should have structured this, but hey, we'll move on because the main event's what we're all here for, really. This is where the card started to pick up for me. Cody and Elgin, probably another freestyle match, but yeah, this next match is where the card really just went up a whole new level. We had Hiromu Takahashi versus Kushida, the winner of the Best of the Super Juniors for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. This is one of my matches of the night. I think it might be my second favorite. I really loved it. Great entrance from each of them. Kushida is holding up his trophy that he won for the Best of Super Juniors. Takahashi jumps out of the floor. High intensity action to start off with. They're already just bashing each other, elbow strikes, kicks, punches, whatever. Rest trying to gain control. They go to the ropes. Action's outside. They make their way back in and just hit each other with big chops. Takahashi hits a release suplex on Kushida and takes control. Kushida's strikes don't really do a lot. Takahashi tries to do his jump over the top rope and powerbomb Kushida to the floor. Kushida counters it. Takahashi gets thrown to the barricade. Kushida grabs chairs, and this is where the crowd started to boo because Kushida's the face here. They don't really want him to do things that aren't legal. So when he grabs two chairs, we're all just like, oh, what the hell's he doing? But he sets one up on one side of the barricade. He sets one up on the other side because it's there's a main barricade separating the outside of the ring from the area where people walk off, and then there's the gap where people walk, and then there's another barricade in front of the audience. So he puts that one in front of the second barricade, right in front of the audience. They start to clear out from their seats because they know that something big's about to happen. He bashes Takahashi a bit, sits him down into the chair. He runs back, goes to the other side of the ring, does a run up, jumps off the chair, over the first barricade, and hits Takahashi with a drop kick, sending him into the crowd seats. It was a great thing to watch. It might be the highlight of that match, but might be. But there's a lot of great scenes in it. Just take a swig of water. Action goes back into the ring. Takahashi hits a suplex. It's a variation of the time bomb, his finisher, and he kicks out at two. Kushida keeps locking in the his arm lock, which he calls a hoverboard lock. He does a flip off the top rope and holds a submission. He tries to go for the Back to the Future because Kushida's whole gimmick is based off the Back to the Future movies. Kushida locks in the arm submission again. Back and forth strikes, sunset bomb off the apron onto the floor. Kushida's head bounced really violently on that one. It looked like it hit his knee when it bounced up. It was stiff. New Japan's fucking great when it comes to those shots. Kushida, they go back into the ring. Time bomb counted into pin attempt, which only goes to two. Kushida hits the Back to the Future off the top rope, but he's too tired to go for the pin. The crowd continues to go absolutely nuts. The crowd was great for this show. Both men are just lying down. Ref starts that count to 10. So they have to get up, otherwise it'll be a no contest. It's a bunch of Kushida does a bunch of those stomps on Takahashi's face. which makes the crowd boo because it's another heelish move that the face is doing. But it's just like he's trying to win a fucking title. Get over it. Kushida locks in the Back to the Future again, and Takahashi taps out. Kushida wins the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. He's celebrating in the ring afterwards. He gets the crowd to do a Mexican wave, and while he's doing that, one of the members from Takahashi's faction, Los Ingobernables, comes out. Bushi, his name is. He attacks Kushida with the mist, and that's him cementing a challenge for the championship. Then we had Minoru Suzuki versus Hiroki Goto for the Lumberjack Death match for the Never Openweight Championship. This one, it just didn't. It kind of felt like the buffer match to me, but it's just never. Oh, I should probably rate the Kushida match. I'd give it like 4.25 stars. It was really good. I just don't want to give out too many really high-ranking ratings this early on. But yeah, then we move on to Suzuki and Goto. Just nothing special about it. It's a basic lumberjack match. People rolled out, tossed back in, but then things went to shit, and both factions started brawling. Yada yada yada. One of the people keeps taunting Thunder Liger, who's on commentary. People are cheering for the idea of Liger versus Suzuki, which is cool, I guess. Suzuki wins, retains, yada yada yada. Yoshihashi, who's one of Goto's team members, keeps going after Suzuki after the match. Yeah, it just didn't seem like much to me. I'd probably give that one like a 2.5 stars. It was good, but it wasn't anything special. Then we had one of the other great matches of the night, the co-main event, Tetsuya Naito versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. There was a lot of story built up to this one. They had a great promo package at the start. I didn't speak Japanese, so I didn't understand a single fucking word of it, nor do I understand any of the promos that happened after these matches. But, that being said, you could tell how much, built-up aggression these two had towards each other, because Naito, who was the champion going in, kept treating the title with disrespect, just slapping on stairs. It broke at one stage during the Best of Super Juniors tournament, and Tanahashi wants to, give the title some respect. So, while Naito is just walking the ring, he takes his time, treats the title like shit, and while his back's turned, and he still isn't in the ring, he's wearing a suit at this stage, because he hasn't gotten into his ring attire, Tanahashi, who's the face, hops out of the ring and just beats him up on the outside, which the crowd cheered at, because, Naito is a fan-fucking-tastic heel. They work on each other, works on injuries. The announcers say that Naito plans to vacate the title or get it retired because there are too many in New Japan with the addition of the US Championship, which is it's fair. There's a lot of fucking titles. There's 3 different tag titles, Intercontinental, Never Openweight title, Never IWGP Junior Heavyweight, and then IWGP Heavyweight. It's quite a few. WWE probably has more, but they fight out for a fair bit. There's more scenes where Tanahashi, the face, does moves that the crowd finds heelish, so they boo. Which doesn't make sense. I wasn't a fan of that. It's just stop being cucks. Let the man do his moves. Later in the match, Naito keeps focusing on Tanahashi's arm, does a bunch of drop kicks. He's doing a submission on the arm and digs his knuckles into it. Tanahashi recovers and puts Naito down, goes up to the top rope, then gets caught. Gets put in an arm lock in the corner. Naito hits a Hurricanrana, but is reversed into a pin, goes to a 2 count. Tornado DDT countered into a swinging neck break. Tanahashi goes up top for a high fly flow, misses. Tanahashi is in pain because he landed on the arm but had been worked on. Naito goes for his finisher, but it's blocked. They just start slapping each other over and over. It went a while. I'd say like a dozen slaps each guy. Tanahashi hits a big suplex and bridges it and gets a 2 count. Naito's finisher gets counted again. Spinning DDT by the champ, followed up by a German suplex. Hits his finisher, just shy of a 3 count. Goes for a finisher again, counted into a dragon suplex. Tanahashi hits 2 sling blades. That first one looked absolutely beautiful, I might add. He goes to the top, does Shinsuke Nakamura's little hand, 2-finger drum, whatever the fuck it is, taunt, because, they were part of the same faction when Nakamura was in Japan. Hits a high fly flow for a 2 count. Naito kicks out. Hits Naito with a cloverleaf in the middle of a ring. A crowd goes absolutely nuts, like so loud. I had to turn my headphones down a bit. Tanahashi's just locked it in, and Naito taps, and so that's another new champion. How many of these titles changed? 1, 2, 3. So far, 4 title changes, I think. Yeah. And then we got to rating, right? I'd give that one like a 4-star rating. It was a really great match. I wouldn't necessarily recommend someone to go watch Dominion as a whole. I'd say go watch the Intercontinental Championship match, the Junior Heavyweight match, and the main event. Because they were just so great matches. But yeah, that one was like a 4-star for me. It was really good. I wouldn't mind watching it again soon. But yeah, then we move on to the main event, Okada versus Omega 2, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Kenny Omega walks down with the Young Bucks, looks really cool. Okada walks down with Gato, a member of his faction. As soon as the bell rings, the crowd went from chatting to just insane screams, like nearly as loud as when Tanahashi had the submission locked in at the end of the last match. They just knew what was coming from this rematch, and boy did it deliver. I personally was thinking for the first 20 minutes of it that this isn't going to top the first. The first was too good. I knew they had to try to top the first, but I didn't think they would. There's a bunch of great exchanges at the start. Plenty of great wrestling moves, not necessarily just great aerial offense and dives that you see. Most matches have a lot of focus on. They just had a lot of groundwork and immediate attempts at finishes, trying to just end the match immediately, which doesn't happen, of course. Bunch of great moves. Eventually, some of the great parts of the match. Okada takes a table out early on, sets it up. Nothing happens for a good little while. Then Omega's on the outside. Okada goes out, gives Omega another couple hits, lies him down on top of the table, goes up to the top rope, goes for the elbow dive, puts Omega through the table. Looked absolutely brutal. Those table spots in New Japan look so terrible because those tables are so damn thick. AF, daddy. That was great. Young Bucks constantly cheering outside. You could hear some snippets of what they're yelling at Kenny, and it's just finds you for a bit of a giggle. Then let me just get to the point where I want to. Yeah, he gets back in. Oh, crap, where is it? Omega is constantly going for his finisher during the match. Never quite gets it. But Okada constantly hits his Rainmaker, and he keeps bloody, trying to pin him, but Omega just keeps kicking out. It's great. Omega's looking so weak at this stage. I think it was like 30 minutes into the match. And the rest of Bullet Club walks out. Okada's just holding up Omega at this stage because he's just been beaten that badly. And Okada's just telling the ref to check on him. Omega says no, he's still in this over and over again. Bullet Club comes out from the back. Cody's holding up a towel. He wants to throw it in because he's concerned. He can see how bad shape Omega's in. Young Bucks are like stopping him, arguing with the rest of Bullet Club, just being like, no, Kenny's got this. He's doing it. Cody's just yelling, look at him. He's done. He can't keep doing this. But then, as that's happening, and Cody keeps trying to push past, Omega stands up, hits Okada with a Rainmaker and a reverse Hurricane Rana. All the Bullet Club just start to surround the ring and start cheering for Omega instead of, trying to, submit for him. Okada hits another dropkick. Okada's dropkicks are so fucking good. There was a spot early on in the match where I forgot to talk about where they were on the outside near the announce tables. And Okada hit a running dropkick on Omega, and the force just looked so incredible. It pushed him back quite a bit into the barricade. He just looks so beautiful with him. Okada hits another dropkick as Omega charges up. Goes for a Rainmaker, doesn't get it. Omega hits a jumping knee. It's a 2 count. Another knee to the head. Goes for a one-winged angel again. Doesn't get it. Jumping knee strike to Okada. Omega goes for the one-winged angel again. Okada continues to just completely ignore that move. But Omega finally hits it, and everyone's just like, oh my god, this is it. He finally hit the one-winged angel. But Okada gets his foot on the rope just before the 3 count, and everyone just loses their fucking mind, because that was great. Like, the foot on the rope spot gets used so much, but that right there was just perfect use for it, in my mind. Omega goes for a taunt, just, the finger gun taunt, gets hit with another Rainmaker, both men are down, the ref begins his count 10. They both, work their way up, they're exhausted, slam each other with forearms. Pace picks up, Okada falls down after a massive strike. Kenny hits a Snapdragon suplex and starts, getting some energy back, but he walks right into another drop kick. At this point, they're past the 50-minute mark, and everyone's just like, they're going to the 60, they're going to the timeout. Omega with 2 knee strikes, goes to the pin, 2 count. Omega drops his knee pad and hits a running knee to the back of Okada's head, which sounded absolutely brutal. Goes for the one-winged angel again, gets reversed into the tombstone. Looks to hit the Rainmaker, and this is the spot of the night, honestly. Okada, yelled to get the crowd pumping. There really wasn't a heel in this match, honestly. It was really just which faction you prefer, Chaos or Bullet Club. And Okada yells out, has the Rainmaker charged up. It looks like it was going to be the final one. And then Omega dodges it. But what you had to take a second to realize that he didn't mean to. He just collapsed out of exhaustion. And so Okada missed, and because, he was so violent with it, he, launches himself a bit. They both take a little while to get up. Okada goes for another tombstone. Omega hits him with a ton of punches and another massive couple of knee strikes. You hear the 55-minute mark being yelled over the loudspeaker. Omega goes for a third knee strike and sets up One Winged Angel, but it's reversed again into a drop kick. Multiple drop kicks. Okada with a spinning tombstone, but is too tired to hit the cover. German suplex for a 2 count, kick out, roll up by Omega, and yet another drop kick. 2 minutes left. Everyone's just like, okay, they go into the bloody time limit. This is insane. I myself was just thinking, how are they going to finish this? Are they just going to go to the timeout? Are they going to start the pin, but the match ends before the pin actually finishes? Like, the pin starts with 2 seconds left in the match, so they don't get to the final 3 count. 1 minute left. Snapdragon by Omega, dropkick and Rainmaker by Okada. But, they're both lying down too tired. Okada crawls towards Omega with 10 seconds left, and he doesn't make it. Time limit is done. Bell rings, it's a draw. And, I feel like the main event of the card being a draw would usually be such a negative. Like, it'd just be like, okay, well, now what? But after that match, after 60 minutes of those two just going absolutely ham on each other, it was a perfect ending, honestly. I honestly think it was better than the first one. After the match, both men are getting tended to immediately, like the doctors dive at them. Omega has lights shined in his eyes to see if he's conscious even. Because it was just absolutely brutal. Like, I don't know how they could have gone for 60 minutes straight at the pace they were going at. It was absolutely insane. There's some people saying that Omega should have been the one crawling towards Okada, but I feel like either way it worked. It worked perfectly. Okada made a promo to finish off the night while Omega's been helped to the back by the Young Bucks. The Bullet Club starts to head to the back. But then pretty much immediately after, Okada makes his way to the press conference and Cody shows up, who made the challenge earlier that night, and spits beer into his face. It's great. It's great to see. So, Cody's definitely going up against him next, which it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Most people would be very pissed off if Cody won, but I feel like I don't really feel like Cody deserves it, but I feel like it'd be a great storyline for the Bullet Club. Christ, yeah, this match, easily the highlight of the night. I'm not going to, just toss out my star ratings like Meltzer did with 6 out of 5 stars. I think he actually gave this one 7 out of 5, which I saw on a thumbnail on YouTube. I don't know if that's true or not, I'd have to check it. But it's definitely got a 5-star rating for me. It's absolutely insane. If you got a spare hour in your life, I will personally give you my New Japan World details so you can watch this match, because it is just... I can't think of the negative for it. It is the perfect match. As I said on the Steph section when I talked about my 10 favourite wrestling matches, when I talked about the first time these two met at Wrestle Kingdom, the time went for too long. But in this, I was just like, when I heard the 50-minute mark, I was just like, okay, that's longer than the other one, but that's okay. And then once it got to the 60-minute time limit draw, I was just like, nah, that's fine, that's perfectly fine. The storyline of Bullet Club coming out, Cody persistently wanting to throw in the towel for Kenny. It's just so good. My early doubts of the match faded so quickly. I can't say enough good things about this match. Heavily recommend it to anyone who watches wrestling, even casually, because even you'll admit the match was fucking fantastic. And if you don't, then just stop watching wrestling altogether, because you don't make sense. Altogether, card started off slow, but second half was really, really fucking good, especially the main event. My 3 matches of the night, as I went through before, we're in the second half. I'd say I'd give the card as a whole a 4 maybe a 3 point. No, yeah, with 4 stars, because it had some matches that were like okay, average at best, but then they had matches that were just out of this world. They did it again. I'm very excited for the next New Japan show. I think it's an American one. I don't know if it's for G1 Climax though. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But hey, I hope you enjoyed the first ever StephPlex. Um, I will be doing this again because it's fun. Hopefully, I'll be a bit more well-rounded on it. Maybe I'll get a co-host. Who knows? Probably not though. But people have lives. I don't. The next one we'll be doing is Money in the Bank, which will be next week. Yeah. Hopefully, stay tuned for that. Tell me what you thought of this. Give me any updates on, what you think of the premise of me just doing my wrestling review podcast for StephPlex. I wanna hear your thoughts. But as for now, thanks for listening, Squad fam. I've been your boy Steph, or Steven, or Steve, whatever you want to call me. Stay tuned.